It was around 4 in the afternoon, September 18th, 2046, 5 months after the crew's return to Earth. Chen still lay in the hospital, recovering. He had regained consciousness only 2 weeks earlier, and though his body was weak, the doctors were hopeful he would soon be discharged. Then, without warning, Chen rose from his bed. His movements were sharp, unnatural. The nurse attending to him froze for a heartbeat and then rushed down the corridor to summon the doctor. By the time the physician arrived, Chen's condition had worsened. His eyes burned a deep, unsettling red, as though blood had flooded them. His skin was pale, his body trembling with a cold that seeped into the room. Before the doctor could speak, Chen lunged. His hands clamped onto the man's shoulders, and with a sudden feral violence, he sank his teeth into the doctor's neck. The nurse's voice caught in her throat. She stood rooted to the spot, unable to scream, unable to move. Chen's canines had elongated into cruel points, and his body temperature had dropped to a chilling 5 degrees Celsius. His breath steamed in the air as he fed, tearing without hesitation. When he finally looked up, his blood-red eyes locked on the nurse. She tried to run, but he was faster. In a blur, he caught her and dragged her close. Her muffled cry was the last sound she ever made. Moments later, the doctor stirred. But he did not rise as a man. His limbs were stiff, his gait jerky, as rigor mortis already gripped him. His jaw snapped hungrily, and with staggering steps, he wandered into the next room, descending upon a helpless patient. Within 10 hours, the hospital was lost. Bloodied halls echoed with the guttural moans of the dead, every ward infested, every room desecrated. Desperate administrators called for the security forces. Armed men stormed the building, rifles blazing. Yet the bullets did little. The creatures only fell when a shot struck the head. The discovery came too late. The swarm overwhelmed the soldiers, tearing into flesh, ripping apart armor. Those who died rose again, swelling the tide of the undead. By nightfall, chaos had spilled into the streets. The city groaned under the weight of the outbreak, its avenues crawling with the hungry dead. Sirens wailed, screams echoed, and the living scattered like prey before a storm. A state of emergency was declared at dawn. Thousands of troops marched in to stem the tide. But it was too late. The city had already fallen. No one could explain what was happening or why. To those who survived that night, it felt as though the earth itself had been cursed. The morning after the outbreak, 8:15 a.m., September 19th, 2046, John and his wife Sophia were locked in a heated argument inside their home. The quarrel had nothing to do with the chaos outside. Instead, it was about Joan and the whispers John had uncovered of Sophia's infidelity. Their voices clashed in the small kitchen until John's phone rang. On the other end was a friend who is a police officer, his tone clipped and urgent. "The city's overrun," the officer said. "The dead are walking, feeding on the living." John's brow furrowed, his grip on the phone tightening. "What are you talking about?" he demanded. "Where did this even start?" There was a pause, then the grim reply. "Reports trace it back to the hospital. Beyond that, I don't know. I just thought you should be warned. Look after yourself." His chest tightened. His colleague who was still in that hospital hadn't been discharged yet, at least to the best of his knowledge. "What the hell are you saying?" he snapped. "Was Chen discharged before this?" But the officer could give no answers. The line went dead. Sophia had overheard, but her anger toward her husband kept her from asking questions. Instead, she stormed into the living room, grabbed the remote, and flicked on the television. The broadcast showed scenes of horror. Bloodied corpses staggering through the streets, tearing into anyone they caught. She froze, her face pale in the blue glow of the screen. Then, without hesitation, she seized her car keys. John intercepted her at the door. "Where the hell do you think you're going?" he barked. "My office," she shot back. "I need to see if everyone is safe." He snatched the keys from her hand and pointed toward the bedroom. "No, lock yourself inside." Their voices clashed again, rising until a sound silenced them both. A low groan coming from the balcony. John raised a finger to his lips. Together, they crept forward. The sliding door rattled. A pale figure lurched into view, blood spilling from his mouth, eyes glowing red. With a guttural snarl, the creature hurled itself against the glass. John slammed the door shut and braced it with his back. The zombie hammered against the frame with unnatural strength, and in seconds, John was thrown to the ground. The door burst inward, wood splintering. The monster staggered into the room,